The whistle blows. The referee reaches into his pocket, and 100 million people stop breathing. You know that moment in international soccer, the one where a career, a World Cup run, a nation's hope, gets erased by a single piece of colored cardstock. But here's what nobody tells you. Some of the dumbest red cards in history were not violent, they were not malicious. They were just ridiculous. And understanding why they happened, that's the key to finally getting how the referee's mind actually works. Let's go back to the 1994 World Cup. Italy versus Nigeria, the knockout stage. Gianfranco Zola, one of the most elegant players of his generation, comes on as a substitute. He's been on the pitch for maybe 10 minutes. He makes a sliding tackle. It's a bit late. The referee reaches for his pocket and shows him a yellow card. Then, a pause. The referee pulls out a second card and shows Zola a red. Wait, what just happened? The ref gave 2 cards for 1 tackle. Here's the layer most fans miss. The referee thought Zola was already on a yellow from an earlier foul. He didn't check. He just assumed. But Zola had never been booked. The referee made a paperwork error in his own head. And a World Cup quarterfinal was decided by a referee's mistaken memory. FIFA later reviewed the incident and admitted the error. But the score stood. Italy lost. Zola's World Cup ended with a phantom booking that never existed. A referee's mistaken memory erased a World Cup quarterfinal. That's the kind of detail that changes how you watch the game. If you're the kind of viewer who wants to see what the cameras miss, subscribe so you don't miss the next layer. And drop phantom booking in the comments if this one surprised you. Now watch what happens when the referee has all the information in front of him and still makes the wrong call. The 2006 World Cup final. Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest players alive, the final minutes of extra time. The score is tied, 110 minutes of the highest pressure soccer on earth. And then Zidane walks past Marco Materazzi and headbutts him in the chest. You've seen the clip. Everybody has. It's the most famous red card in soccer history. But here's the part that most people get wrong. The referee on the pitch did not see it. He was looking the other way. The linesman didn't see it either. The fourth official, the one sitting with the replay screens, had to call them over and say, "You're not going to believe what I just saw." The referee didn't issue the red card from his own observation. He was told to, by a guy watching a TV monitor 2 yards away. This is the moment that changed soccer forever, because it forced FIFA to realize if the referees can't see it, the technology has to. 4 years later, video assistant refereeing was being tested in closed rooms. 8 years after that, VAR became official. But here's where it gets curious. The referee who issued that card, Horacio Elizondo, had already shown a red card in the same match. Earlier, he sent off a French defender for a second yellow, and he had issued a questionable penalty in the first half. He was not having a good game. When the final whistle blew, the world was not debating the headbutt. They were debating the referee, and that's the loop nobody closes. Now stop for a second. Think about what happens when the referee can't get it wrong, because the player doesn't give him a choice. The 2010 World Cup. Uruguay versus Ghana. The quarterfinals. Extra time, the last minutes of the game, Ghana crosses the ball. Luis Suarez, Uruguay's striker, not their goalkeeper, is standing on the goal line. The ball flies toward the empty net. Suarez does something a goalkeeper would do. He throws his hands up and blocks the ball on the line. Not with his chest, not with his shoulder, with his hands. Volleyball style. The whistle goes. Red card, penalty kick, Suarez is sent off. And 100,000 people in the stadium, plus millions watching at home, think the same thing. That is the dumbest way to leave a World Cup. But here's the part that flips everything. Suarez's red card was tactical, not emotional, not by accident. His team was going to lose if that ball went in. They would have been eliminated. One goal, one moment, their World Cup done. So Suarez made a calculation. If I block this ball with my hands, I get a red card. I miss the next match. But if the penalty kick is missed, my team advances. And the penalty was missed. Ghana's star player hit the crossbar. Uruguay won in a shootout. Suarez became a hero in his country and a villain everywhere else. But he walked off that pitch knowing exactly what he had done. The referee didn't make a mistake. The law was clear. Law 12, Section 2, denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by handling the ball. Mandatory red card. No judgment call. The referee had no choice. And that's the uncomfortable truth about some red cards. The player knows the cost. They take it anyway because the alternative is worse. That tactical calculation, knowing the cost and taking it anyway, is what separates a player who thinks from one who reacts. If you want to understand the game at that level, subscribe to keep uncovering the tactical layers most fans miss. And tell me in the comments, would you take that red card if it meant your team advanced? You've now seen 3 red cards, one from a referee's mistaken memory, one that changed how the game uses technology, one that was coldly tactical, but there's a 4th category, the one that makes no sense until you understand the psychology of the referee himself. The 2002 World Cup. Turkey versus Brazil. Group stage. A match so intense that the players were already pushing and shoving before the ball was kicked. Brazil gets a free kick. Rivaldo, one of the best players in the world, prepares to take it. A Turkish player, Hakan Ünsal, kicks the ball back toward Rivaldo to waste time. The ball hits Rivaldo lightly on the leg. Rivaldo grabs his face. He drops to the ground like he's been shot. He writhes in agony. The referee gives Hakan Ünsal a red card for kicking the ball at a player's face. But watch the replay. The ball hit Rivaldo's knee, not his face. He was nowhere near his face. He faked the injury so completely that the referee believed he had seen a violent assault. That red card was not earned by the player. It was earned by the referee's inability to distinguish genuine pain from performance. And the referee fell for it. FIFA later fined Rivaldo for simulation, but the red card stood. Turkey played 40 minutes with 10 men and lost the match, and they were eliminated in the group stage by a single point. A single dive decided a World Cup group. That's the power of performance. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story about how players manipulate the rules, because the game is as much psychology as physics. Reply with Rivaldo if you think simulation is the worst part of the game. You are not alone if you watched those moments and felt confused. Every one of them seems to break the rules, but they don't. They reveal the limitations of human judgment, the loopholes in the laws, and the tactical ruthlessness of players who understand psychology better than the rulebook. The next time you see a referee reach for a card, ask yourself, is this a punishment or a calculation? Is this the result of what the referee saw or what they assumed? Is the player being honest, or are they playing a different game entirely? Now drop your answer in the comments. Which of these red card moments do you think was the dumbest? The phantom booking, the tactical handball, the faked injury, or the one nobody talks about? The time a referee gave a second yellow card to a player who just wanted to take his shirt off after scoring the winning goal. You know the one. Croatia versus Australia, 2006. A player scored, ripped his jersey off in celebration, and got a second yellow card. He was sent off for taking his shirt off, and his team had to play the final 20 minutes with 10 men. That's the moment that proves the rule. Soccer does not care about your emotions, it cares about the laws, and the referee is just the person holding them.